Hello, my name is Adrian Hirt, and my MashUP covers the impact that digital cameras have had on today's society. First, let us start with a brief history of the digital camera.
Evolution of camera. In 1981, Sony demonstrates the Sony Mavica, the world's first digital electronic still camera. This camera recorded images into a mini disc and then put them into a video reader. Images could be displayed to a television monitor or color printer. In 1986, the first true digital camera that recorded images as a computerized file was likely the Fuji DS1P, which recorded to a 16 megabyte internal memory card that used a battery to keep the data in memory. In 1991, Kodak released the first professional digital camera system, which was of a great use for photojournalists. It was a modified Nikon F3 camera with a 1.3 megapixel sensor, the first to have a megapixel. And from then on, cameras have been improving to what we now use in our daily life. And that's the evolution of the camera.
The digital camera has had a large effect on how we act as a society. The first way that the digital camera has affected us is by introducing the "I was there" mentality. People's behavior in public has changed drastically over the past few years. Nowadays, diners and restaurants may greet their meal with a few excited clicks of their phone to capture the meal they are about to consume. One of the most pronounced changes can be seen at concerts and sporting events. Today, if you were to go to a concert, you would likely see thousands of arms holding cameras and recording the show. These people are beginning to accept that filming the concert means they're withdrawing from the whole experience, in addition to taking away from their memories. They're more concerned with uploading the video to YouTube or Facebook than the actual time of the concert. They're showing everyone that they were there. Another large impact of the digital camera is the sheer number of photographs that are being taken. Years ago, it was sufficient to take a few pictures in order to document an outing. Now, thousands of pictures are being effortlessly taken in order to fully record an experience. To demonstrate this trend, I will show you how the number of pictures has increased over the past few years. The first photo was taken by Joseph Nipshay in 1826. The first photo with a human in it was taken in 1838. By 1873, it was estimated that a few million photos had been taken. By 1990, over 57 billion photos were taken each year. By 2000, around 86 billion photos were taken each year. And today, we take over 380 billion photos a year, which is the largest 10-year increase ever. The digital camera has enabled society to partake in citizen journalism. These cameras have turned small events into a worldwide phenomenon. Without camera phones, internet sensations such as this bungee jumping video would likely never be captured or seen by the masses. Now, video cameras can always be found at events where people know something interesting will happen, but the camera phone has also changed the arena of subjects. People are beginning to become so caught up with capturing the moment on camera that interacting with the real-life experience. People are beginning to question why their peers are filming when they could have acted in some way to help a person or thwart a predator.
Oh my god! Oh my... Go! Aaron!
The final way that digital cameras have changed us is that they have turned us all into archivists. Now, we are constantly keeping footage or photos of our experiences. A problem with this is that so much media may be created that all of the good media may be lost in the countless amount of subpar media. Here's an example of how many of us are archiving our experiences with digital cameras such as GoPros, camera phones, or contours.
Readers SDM. Really lucky just recently to have the opportunity to shoot a large marlin in my local waters. Fish ended up weighing around 138 kilos, just around that 300-pound mark. It was a great privilege to be able to spend time in the water with that fish and then also be able to take it. For me, such an honour. Fish like that, for myself, is a fish that if I'm going to shoot it, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it home, I'm going to eat it. Got in, I've been in the water for maybe 30-40 seconds when the school surgeons I was swimming above all of a sudden just scattered a million miles an hour. I heard a massive crack on the bottom and I looked down and a shark was coming at me 100 miles an hour. I flicked on my camera thinking, oh, this could make some great footage, and by the time I got my camera sorted, looked back down, there was three and they were on top of me. One came so close in front of me I had to push away at it. Another one came in around behind the back of me, and they started just circling from thinking this is going to make great footage to, wow, I might need to call out to the boat. All of a sudden, one of them came right in behind me, and I spun around, gave him a quick jab, and he was looking like he wanted to grab me on the fins. And as I spun around to have a look at him, I looked past him for a second, and this is when I saw the marlin. Marlin had turned and started headed off, and I could see it off in the distance. So I remembered something someone told me years ago. Big marlin don't like being intimidated, so swim at them really hard and you'll get them to come back at you. Now, I swam it as hard as I could and it worked. It happened so quick that fortunately I didn't really have time to think about that. All I had time was, I need to do a one fish stone. Remembering the DVD of one fish and that big marlin that was stoned, I pulled the trigger. Unfortunately, no stone shot, and then I realised it's time to call for the boat because this fish is going to take off. It lifted its spines, dropped its pecs, and headed for New Zealand. I screamed out to the boat and stuck my belt reel on really quickly, and we're off. Once I had about 10 metres left on my line, I locked it off, held on, and it dragged me for the next 10 minutes, which to be honest was really exciting. You know, it was probably the hardest part of the whole experience. I also remembered during that tow that morning I'd shot a jewfish and 3 sharks had eaten it. They dragged me through the water, they'd scuffed up my line, bent my spear, so I was also worried about my line breaking.